I'd like to introduce Dick and Jill Miller and Mike Cornelison to give a presentation on the latest updates to Fotocx. Fotocx is a photo editor that is excellent. Now, I'm not big on using photo stuff, but I switched to Fotocx when I first found out about it to do some stuff. I don't do very much in it, but Dick is a real expert at using it, and Mike is the author, and it's really a great product.
Am I on and coming through well?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Good.
Do you want to start screen sharing now?
Say what?
Do you want to start your screen sharing?
Yeah. And I'll be there in a moment.
Oh,
Well, why don't I start there for a moment, okay?
okay.
We'll be talking about Fotocx, of course, and I thought I'd start by putting you on its homepage. This is where Mike produces his excellent program, makes it available for you to download, etc., etc. I'll be starting by doing a little work with Fotocx that I think is mostly common operations, a few not so common. I'm aiming it so anyone who is a photo editing beginner can follow what we're saying. But I'm going to gloss over a bunch of interesting items which we can come back to and look at in detail. Mike is here to fill in techie details, and Mike is here to fill in new features in the current version, which came out in January, and new features in the next version, which I expect will be coming out around July, maybe. So he's got the inside scoop. I've got the outside scoop as a very happy user, and I'll give you some demos. Let me start by seeing if instead of showing you the home screen, I can find me, where did it go? There it is. Okay, I have a few items I'm going to be playing with today, and I'm in Fotocx at the moment.
No, you aren't.
I'm not?
No, you're in Files.
Oh, maybe.
Just click on this and go to it.
Okay. Let's give one a test. We'll probably have to load Fotocx from here. I'm not sure. Yep. We are loading Fotocx. That was just a partial view of it. Now we've got it up and running. And this is back. This is back a long time ago when I was little, as you can see. And for those of you who are near Natick, Massachusetts, go to South Natick, and when you're at the Charles River Dam, you take a you go east, take a left onto 16, and very shortly you'll be at Elm Bank. And Jill, remind me who runs it and all that good stuff.
It's a combination. DCR, the Department of Conservation and Recreation, own the property, but Massachusetts Horticultural Society has about half of the open air. The other half is soccer fields.
And I'm not sure if this is an example of the botanical section, they're growing chairs or what, but it's a wonderful photo topic. Target, I should say. Just go there. And what you doing?
I'm going to move this
good
thing
idea.
out of the way.
That wasn't part of the chair.
Right.
And so there's my raw picture. It's kind of interesting, maybe not compelling. And on the left, we now see the menu for the main categories of features in Fotocx. Each one of them might have quite a few in it. Let's see, for instance, a lot of choices within that one. We'll start and discuss things about it as we proceed. First of all, I took the original. I thought I'd crop it to the part I wanted, brighten it up a little bit, sharpen it, and that's where I'm going to build from. And first thing I tried was an effect, and I believe this one's called Twist, and it'll be in warp. You can warp your picture in a lot of ways. This one's Twist, and you can do various things with an image. Like, for instance, can you untwist it? That's my question. Well, you can confuse yourself trying. Anyway, I just used it to show that it's there, but I'd like to put it to work. And the way I'd like to put it to work, it's going to look a little more like that. A lot less twist, but an effective twist. And this the photo is from 2004, but I'm currently looking at something I did in 2017. So I came back much later. I suddenly realized exactly what the caption ought to be, gave it a try to see if it fit. I thought it did. We're missing a few corners because of where I started from, but it's quite effective. Then I said, wouldn't it be nice if we could have a full screen background of it? I'm sure I'd find good things to do with that. So I converted it into that. And as I proceeded, I added back the title, but not in the same spot. And I added the fact that I'm doing good things for safety by using Ubuntu Linux and back in time. That's why you don't panic, because you've got backups and a reliable program. But that was years ago. And for the last few years, we switched to Linux Mint, which is built on Ubuntu Linux. So I changed the caption. And this is all easily done with tools in there. So this is just a little first intro to taking a first picture and going someplace with it beyond its obvious initial limits. Next case. Here is a photo. I took a photo, but I took a better photo. It's a better photo I'll build on, but it's got a problem. The problem is it's a wonderful cake, but it's got all that stuff in the lower right, latitude, longitude, height above sea level, 285 degrees looking sort of to the northwest, and the date right down to a second. That's a lot of information we don't need in a picture. It's getting in the way. How to get rid of it? The easy way in Fotocx is you don't get rid of it. You override it with something less obstructive. And the easy way is you can go out, you can do a markup with a rectangle, which is made out of course, chocolate. And once you've got that, you can take advantage of it with a nice label you wanted on that picture. So that's how you do that, a way around a problem. Next case. Same cake, same day, son of the birthday boy and son's wife, Anne. And this is a really nice picture of them. They're smiling, they're doing something. There's the cake, there's the festivities. But over on the left, we have a fire extinguisher and the first aid kit that are, the cake probably isn't going to burn up in the next hour. They look a little superfluous and confusing. On the right, you can see background. It's equally confusing. You can't quite see it, but it's enough there to confuse you. The whole picture is tilted up to the right and not quite evenly. So using regular tools in Fotocx that we can visit in a little while, we simply fix all that at once. They look a lot better now. And not only that, look at their faces. Look at David's sweater. Look at Anne's kerchief. I'm going back. This is the before. It's all fuzzier. And beyond that, it has too much contrast in the shadows. Look at their faces for the contrast. And then watch as I switch to the newer one. See the difference on the shadows? So you can do all kinds of things like that. And suddenly it's turned into a lovely picture, except for the same old problem in the lower right. Well, we only have latitude, it's less of a problem. But this time, instead of painting chocolate right in the middle of the cake, wouldn't it be nice if we had a tool to easily do something like this? We have, it's over here in, why am I lost?
Repair?
Yes, about there, I'd say. And in repair, Smart Erase can do things like that. Well, that's the short form for after using it a bit. But any place in Fotocx, if you're there, you're wondering, what the heck is this about? Just tap the F1 button on your keyboard, and it quick goes in a big user guide to just the place you wanted, with examples, explanations, all kinds of good stuff. So it's that simple. Just give you a few of the areas we're playing in, the turf we're playing on. So that's a good demo of some very good stuff, easily done. I showed you out our window a little while ago, and maybe I'll divert for a moment. Hang on, just only hurt for a minute, I think. I thought that would do it. I guess not. I'll stay in it. I'm looking out my window. There's a little hint of red in a very cloudy sky. And, but this is looking out the window next to the one I'm at now. And this is our bedroom view. And that's an original photo. This one has the same junk in the bottom. Normally, I don't have it on my camera, but either I borrowed a camera or something. But same game we're playing, except the camera doesn't do justice to our sunsets. They tend to be kind of washed out until you improve them a little. That was an attempt to balance this little section of the just under the horizon, a mile up the lake at the far end. There's an area that's going across. This area is coming toward us, but this area out here ought to be horizontal. It's close, but it's not exactly there. And I did a little further trimming. Oh, and I also decided to do the original easy trick for all the writing in the lower right and put something to fit on it with a fitting background color and a fitting foreground color. So that's my view, and it full screens very nicely. And it's one of my favorite wallpapers. If you like to do a print screen right now, and you'll have one to play with. etc. I think time is up if it's okay with you. So I'll go back to the regular size. And I think I'm at the end of I am. End of gallery, it says in the upper left. But that doesn't mean I'm finished with the gallery because I didn't start at the beginning. I saved these for last. We're visiting our friend Farron McIntyre. Well, let me bring one up and we'll find out.
2013, I think.
Yeah, but where's the
Oh,
show?
you have to move this guy over.
A little too much going on in one place. 2013, we went to visit Farron, where he's moved to in France. And
right near the Spanish border.
Near the Spanish border, foot of the Pyrenees. And I think this is not Farron's town, but an adjacent town. But Jill is standing next to me and Farron. And next to me on the other side is our granddaughter, Claire, who came along for the ride just as a almost graduating high school present. And we had a great time. So here's the picture. It's got problems. It's a beautiful picture. But the sun is all hitting that big white wall and making us look mighty dark. And the wall is so bright you're not seeing texture. The lovely sidewalk is worth a look too. Let's see what we can do to improve it. First, let's see where I am and why it didn't listen. There we go. First, we decided, am I in the wrong mode here?
No.
Oh, I guess I just did that cropped on. I guess I'm on the way to where I want to go. Let's see. No, those should be full size.
Just click on it.
Like so, more or less. Like so. So let's see. First I came from the beginning to hither, and I'm already bringing up a lot of color, making things a little more uniform. Then I worked a little further on it, and I got us perfect. But look at that wall on the left. It just disappeared. Solid white paint with not a texture on it. So let's drop the contrast a bit and up the brightness a bit to about there. We're beginning to see the hint of texture on the smooth part, and everything else is showing pretty nicely. So that's a reasonable compromise. You can still tell we're in the shadow, but not by much. Mike Cornelison, unhappy with our photograph, pulled us out of sunny July France and threw us into glacial meltwater. Cruel thing to do, but easy with Fotocx. And there we are, exactly the same photo, except for a glacier and a mountain and all that stuff. Still identical other than that, and a very nice fit, but damn, it's cold in here. That's my introduction to some of the tools and what you can do with them. There's a lot more. It's all free. It's all relatively compact and relatively fast if your computer is strained. And I want to stop for just 1 minute and see if I can't find my regular face view. Jill, why don't you fiddle with that while I look? Yeah, because I want to show you the sunset tonight. If you were on early enough, you saw a clue from before.
Okay. Let's see.
When you see yourself, you're home.
Right.
And
there's blue.
And that should do it.
Okay.
Thank you. And while we're at it, whoa, just pull the power. Here, pull the power. Around and whoa, where are you? About there. Oh, that's not showing you the red. Well,
That's right.
it's there. Honest, it is. Up there somewhere. Never mind.
These cameras don't see red.
As I said, we had to boost a lot for sunsets.
These are woke cameras. They don't see red.
It's got a, I like that. It's got a very bright red streak running right across the dark blue. Very nice.
Did
We
you
have
want to
fun
show
every
them
night.
your T-shirt?
Oh, yes. It's a big religious holiday week for most every religion. So as a physicist, I wanted to celebrate it. This is the front of my religious T-shirt.
Now turn around.
And tell me if I turned enough. And close up on it.
Wait a minute. I'm trying to.
Okay, do it on yours.
There we go.
It's on mine.
And God said, "Let there be light."
So now we've celebrated physicist style for the many holidays. Questions? Mike, do you want to talk about particular features and I'll go find them?
Well, I didn't prepare anything, but I'll go through the features list and say a few words and answer a few questions if that's okay.
Sounds good to me.
And you can tell me what to show if you wish.
I'm going to I've brought up Fotocx on my computer, and I'm going to an entry in the menu, in the help menu. There's an entry called change log, which allows you to see the changes in the current version and the last few versions. So in the current version, which is 25.0, I changed the base of the packaging. Oh, okay, Dick got it up on the screen. That's good. I changed the packaging, the binary package, to be based on Ubuntu 24.04. I'll say a few words about the packaging. I used to provide a regular package for Ubuntu, but that doesn't work for a lot of other distros, and I didn't want to become an expert on how to build packages in every distro. So I stopped doing that, and I'm now publishing the source code, which anybody can take and compile, which I recommend, even though it requires a little bit of knowledge. I recommend that you compile for the computer that you're running on. That's the best and safest way to get a system that works. The package that I provide is a binary package, and it includes library functions that may differ from one distro to another or from one release to another, which causes incompatibilities that make the program not work at all. So the binary package includes the library functions that it was built with. And that package works on almost all recent versions of Linux. It's kind of like an app image in architecture. But for me, the developer, it's a lot simpler. I don't go through the elaborate process of building an app image. I just, when the binary distribution includes the library functions, and that's it. It's quite simple. I added support for JPEG XL. That's a new JPEG format, which I hope is catching on. It has a lot of advantages. It compresses more effectively than the old JPEG. It also has options for visually, what's the name of that? Visually lossless or perfectly lossless. And the visually lossless option is still creates files that are very small, comparable to the old JPEG. And you have the option of absolute lossless. You also have the option of greater color depth than 8 bits. You can use 12 bits or 16-bit color depth. If you take in Fotocx now, in this latest version, if you take a TIFF file or a PNG file with a 16-bit color depth, and you convert it to JPEG XL, you will retain the 16-bit color depth, and the file will be 1/4 to 1/10 as big.
Oh, wow.
So the next feature was the hot corner. You can now move the mouse into the northwest corner of the image, and a title and description will pop up. Actually, what pops up is up to you, but the default is title and description. The area edge blend was made easier. That's a little bit harder to explain. There's a feature in Fotocx called Select Area, where you can select any part of the image that you want and edit that separately. It doesn't go into a separate window. It stays on the image where it is. It's just that all of the edit functions you apply work only within that selected area. And there are various tools to select the area, like follow an image edge or a feature edge, or just use the mouse to draw around the selection that you want. Or there's a flood option where whatever colors are currently, the mouse is currently pointed out, are selected. And that's usually a very fast and effective way to select an object and separate it from the background without doing a whole lot of work. Of course, if there's very little contrast between the object and the background, sometimes selecting by color doesn't quite work. You have to come back with some manual mouse-driven corrections. But this feature here, edge blend, is an easier way to blend the edges of the selected object so that they become invisible. It's less obvious that there was a selection there. Sometimes without doing that, the contrast, there's a sharp edge between the selected object and the background, which makes it look unnatural. And you can get rid of that quite easily. Select the SMP count. SMP stands for symmetric multiprocessing. This allows you to get rid of hyperthreads or the efficiency cores, and just keep the performance cores of the CPU. Sometimes it actually works faster if you do that, because hyperthreads bring absolutely nothing, and the efficiency cores are about 1/3 or 1/2 as fast as the performance cores. And for some functions, if you eliminate the efficiency cores, it actually works faster. This is because the Linux scheduling system hasn't caught up to the idea that there are processors, some of which are fast and some of which are slow. And so it treats them all equally. And so you end up with the case that you're working with the efficiency core with a performance core sitting idle, and that's bad. I added, let's see, the reap fair, the defog function was made a little bit easier in the user interface. Three new transitions were added to the slideshow. These are kinetic transitions that you can put between images in a slideshow. For instance, the obvious one is one image fades into the next image, but there's a lot of others, like you can make the image explode and the background image appears after the explosion. And there's lots of other tricky things like that you can do. I added Darktable as a raw loader. The default raw loader in Fotocx is DC raw, which does an excellent job, and I use it all the time. It's also very fast. But some people swear by these special raw processing programs. I can't remember the name of the other one now. But you can use those if you want. Actually, they don't bring anything because all of the edits that you can do within these raw editing programs, you can also do in Fotocx, and it's generally a lot easier. And 4 bug fixes that I listed there. These are all fairly innocuous bugs, but I got rid of them in this release. The next release is going to have 3 more minor bug fixes. Okay, that's it for now then. If there's any questions, I'll be happy to try to answer them.